we have Group F for our matchup tonight. One Fine Day versus It's Paranoia. We should be getting underway very shortly here. And that's not really a world that I want to see early. World 2 can be tough to navigate. But since this is our first match, we start with World 6-8. Not a terrible stage to see, but Angry Sun, because with random enemies, could make things very interesting. Well, except for that star that just popped up for our runners, because now One Fine Day, as well as its Paranoia, is going to be able to just run through everything. And the lack of a power-up, despite getting hit, allows One Fine Day to get through the stage a little bit faster. No H-jump this time, but that's okay. And we start, and continuing on with 4-2 with a Cheep, as we would normally see it, but that's okay. Cheep can stay down there. And the back half of this stage does get a little dicey because you're going to see Cheeps jumping at you like levels out of Mario 1. Watch out, because sometimes those Cheep jump up so fast that their damage box goes right into Mario's hitbox, as you just saw on its Paranoia side. And yes, this is Flag 1. You saw this flag last year for the inaugural tournament. And we start with 6F1, that's good, because I was worried I was going to see a flashback of my first race from last year, with this being 7F2. Thankfully, not the case. As its Paranoia takes an unfortunate death, has to start the level from scratch. Now, no star for One Fine Day, so you're not going to see the orb strat here. So it's just going to be your garden variety stomp, boom, through. Oop, boom slides in, and once boom gets loose, things can get a little dicey, but One Fine Day cleans it up nice. Here's our star, and we got 7-2. Okay, so taking a hit there is pretty okay, because, well, uh-oh, we got a boss bass sighting. Now, without a tail, this level can be a bit of a pain, because you have to make those note blocks show up. Otherwise, you'd have to do a really difficult P-speed strat. One Fine Day making the right call by keeping Boss Bass on the upper level. We have a Hammer Brother, and it's... Uh-oh, this is where it gets dicey. Uh-oh, Paranoia goes down. Fighting a Hammer Brother in the water is a risky proposition, especially... Uh-oh. This could be trouble, as that's another death. But thankfully, no, Paranoia's going... Okay, this gives me a chance to explain something about the Hammer Bros. Is that they are... Oh no, I thought he had it that time. That's so unfortunate. Out of lives, heading into 7-2. Does he game over to take the lives? Nope, he's gonna go for it. He's pushing on. Unfortunately, what happened there... We're gonna call that commentator's curse on the game over. That's gonna give One Fine Day a bit of a cushion, but now I'm gonna go back a bit to explain what happened to the Hammer Brothers in Randomizer. They're random. So, you get random Hammer Brothers with random battle screens to fight on different tiles. So it was a Boomerang Bro on one tile, became a Fire Bro on another, and One Fine Day opting not to go for the end spade game, and we get 2-5 at 2-5. I think chat knows what to do here. Oh, look out, Paranoia! Dodging the big fish and making him go hungry. Well, actually, no, he ate a Koopa shell and got sick. Okay, now that's going to be a very scary spot for that Boss Bass to be, because that Boss Bass could be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And we get 8-2. One Fine Day is skipping the sands and going for it straight up. And Boss Bass is not in a snipe position as One Fine Day falls down the pit. That Cheep could make things tough. Especially since the Cheep's right there, so you're pretty much forced to go the top route. That could be tough. See how Paranoia does with 3-3, the first place you see Boss Bass. Yeah, 8-2 is typically a dicey proposition when you have all those fire traps shooting at you. But, oh, and okay. The Cheep's hitbox happened again. Plus, Paranoia hit the 16 pixel on that block and clipped right through it. Can't say I've ever seen that happen before in 3-3. So yeah, it's not GDQ, but I get to say this. That's never happened before. Wow, nice jump by One Fine Day. Clear the gap, ambush the waiting Cheep, and take the 5-up. Not a bad thing to take in a randomizer. Especially since you can go through lives really fast. And for airships, we start with the first at the end of the first world? Will this be like that weekly seed we had where we had like 5 airships in their natural position? Because that'd be wild. Either way, Paranoia's moving on. Oh, and yes, the first match in the tourney was earlier today at noon. So we already have one in the books. And we've got Boss Bass in its natural habitat 3-8. Paranoia barely saving it. Boss Bass gets a hold of Mario like that. It's an instant death. Instead of going down to play 2-5, it's just gonna go right for the hammer, bro. And we know it's 2-5. And it's a music box. And we continue with World 3. Checks the pipe. Do we have a free 3? Not quite. Locked behind the second 4. The challenge with routing in World 3, and you'll see this again later on, is that you have to find the right pipe that goes to the end. Now, with Bracket Flags 2, you'll find that those pipes are also shuffled, as well as the lock stages and the forts all within each other. It can get pretty wild. And Paranoia picks a heck of a time to get a 5-up. Low on lives, here's 5 more. And One Fine Day in 5-6 now. This is a level that he hesitated for a reason there, because this is typically an auto-scroller, yeah? Well, the randomizer is set up to where you don't deal with auto-scrollers. Except for like 5-9 in one of the lost levels. But Paranoia makes it through the same shame. Back to that point about auto-scrollers. 5-6 auto-scrolling means those beetles are set up on more of a global timer, so that One Fine Day had to stall there, because if he had jumped right away, he would have missed his jump and taken a death. One of the times where a lack of patience can be deadly. One Fine Day opting to just take the 1-up instead of the 5-up. Can't blame him, because the fireworks, as great as those extra lives are, just take a bit longer. And we have 6F2. And we have One Fine Day going for 6F2 fly. This is a very precise strat used in NMG, and he gets it. Now, what makes that so tough is that if you fail it in the first spot and don't back off, you're going to take a death. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And we have Paranoia out of World 1, and One Fine Day taking down Boom Boom. Now, which of these two pipes will it be? The first one. Okay, we're on our way out of World 2 with the World 2 airship. But with a tail here and no auto-scroller, you can just fly up and over the part that forces you to go down and around in NMG. You can save a bit of time in Rando. And now we come up on the Wendy fight. Easily one of the tougher fights in the game because of all the rings that get fired around. Many a runner has died to Wendy at one point or another. And this is going to be... Oh yeah, the format is best of one, but in group stage, everybody plays each other on each tournament flag set once. And we're in World 1. And what we have here is one of the lost levels. This one is more of a beta like for 3.9 without the water. Probably to test the pipes, I would think. But anyway. The only real complication here is seeing Angry Sun, but it's no problem for one fine day. And its Paranoia is also through to the next level as well, getting another 5 up. And 1-2 is the Army level, aka the tank. This level will have a random hammer bro at the end, and defeating it will yield an item, so it's a pretty good stage to run into. You just have to be careful, because those things can hit and can hurt. But yeah, one of the best things a randomizer does, I can't emphasize this enough, is removal of the boring auto-scrollers, except for, like, well, I mean, 5.9 and Lost Auto-Scroller had to remain in, because when they beta tested it, it just didn't work. And it's 4F1 at the World 1-4. One fine day taking a hit, but it's no problem. He just passes right through. Paranoia not going for the fly, which is understandable, as that's a pretty scary strat to even attempt. Because you're pretty much an Occam's razor on that one. One fine day taking down Boom Boom. Paranoia heading to Boom Boom in 6F2. Fireflower always a good choice for Hammer Bros, by the way. Also for Boom Boom. We haven't seen that yet, but it's a much quicker fight with the Fireflower. And it's interesting to see that neither runner has picked up the end card game yet. Might have to ask about that. No, I am asking about that later. What am I saying? So does Paranoia go right for it? No, goes for the Hammer Bro. Maybe get a helpful item here? Yep. Gets it done. I did not see what he picked up, though. Going the other pipe, though. This was not the pipe, but he'll soon see that he didn't go the right way. And we got ourselves a pyramid. Now, this is one of the more interesting stages, because you have to either use a Buzzy Beetle shell, a Koopa shell, from one of the random enemies, or swing Raccoon Mario's tail. 8-2 would, I'd say, be the hardest level. Paranoia at the end of the World 2 airship. Hope for no Wendy problems, and got it done. And third airship in a row. That's the hat trick. Yeah. Either way, no problem for One Fine Day. As One Fine Day makes it quick, well, Paranoia got a hammer, so he's going to be able to get some time back. There's the classic James Bond line. Vodka martini, shaken, not stirred, and now we're on to World 5. Starting it off with 4-5, also known as the home of the homing bullet bills. Paranoia is going for the end card game. We have not seen this yet. Yep, World 5 was Sky World. Seems like Paranoia was here before, able to deduce the stars, but I was not able to catch anything else. Was that the only match, chat? Meanwhile, One Fine Day in a boss level that has, well, a lot of slopes. This could have been the 7.3 beta, could have also been a place for testing slide mechanics and whatnot. Who knows what the beta they were thinking of, but 8 beta levels were found and cleaned up when this randomizer was made, hence their inclusion. One Fine Day having trouble getting up the pipe, but gets up it. And we have a hand stage. These always spit items at the end of them. It's always going to be the same item, so we'll have 3 of something. What is it? Mushroom. Not that great as we head into 3F1. Oh no, the Sky Fort, excuse me. Levels with similar backgrounds can be confusing as its Paranoia is into the 3rd airship. Takes a cannonball to the face. That does not sound pleasant at all. So One Fine Day is making the climb to the sky, which, with everything in its vanilla spot in bracket 1, is always required. Excuse me. When you get into tourney group 2, then that's not always the case. Sometimes you have to play this level, sometimes you don't. And he's through just fine. We get 1-1. Now, in terms of learning the vanilla speedrun, the World 1 levels are the toughest, and we got a boss pass. And the level's height is gonna present a it would present a problem because the level's low enough to where boss bass can get you down there. But Fire Mario makes sure that boss bass only gets to die out of fireballs. Okay, that underwater section of 3-9 got a little bit dicier than usual because of that Paraguma spamming its kids. Bam! Eat, don't submit. Now we get 4-4. Yes, to answer that question in chat, the hand cards are indeed randomized with what power-ups you get. One thing not randomized, though, is what lack 2 litters. Ooh, excuse me. And now for 6F3. This one gets interesting with the enemy placement, with the enemies being randomized. Especially in the second section, because you could wind up with 3 hot feet and they're not. And there's the way they're supposed to behave is that you look at them, they stop. Some of them don't do that. You have to bear with me as the occasional thing. Either way, as we see on onefineday side, fire so much faster against Boom Boom, but what's even faster? A well-placed hammer with the hammer suit. And yes, Mitch Flower Power is indeed in the tournament, as I see 3-5. It's Paranoia taking a death to the hammer, bro. It's gonna fire flower right through it. Paranoia back in the end card game, hoping for something good. One match. Up to 4 matches, so that's a healthy amount of the board cleared. At this point, you get an idea of what's what. Now we get 6-5. This is a stage that actually requires flight, so because of this, a small Mario run really is not feasible, because you have to be able to fly a Koopa shell up to the top of the level to be able to exit. Yeah, this one got me quite a bit as a kid. Paranoia in climb to the sky. Wow. World 4 airship at, Okay, this is getting interesting on where the airships are alone, because normally you would see the airships shuffle, but through 4, we've yet to see that. Hashtag, what are the chances? Actually, I'll take this one from the Mario movie. Is that the brothers are known as Mario and Luigi Mario. And a clean Koopaling fight. Oh god, I feel this Wario and Marietta, holy smokes. And we get Ice World. Now, this first pipe can lead you to, like, only one spot that would be good, and that would be beyond the first lot. The other 2 locations, not so much. Uh-oh, sounds like onefineday missed 7-1 clip went into the level, so he's gonna take a death and try again. Cannot blame him, because the clip, it saves a lot of time. How many tries, chat? There he goes. Okay, just had to send a message out pertaining to things. Okay, one hot foot is fine to deal with. Because the dry bones just walk off screen. And 1-5. Paranoia with a hammer. Those do help, because until we get to bracket flags, we'll be able to break locks. One fine day, probably wanted a power-up there, instead got a 1-up mushroom. Which can't hurt. Down goes Boom Boom. Now 6-9 is the stage you can P-wing over, or get a clip jump that's pretty precise in terms of pixels. But instead of going for that, One Fine Day is gonna swim through. See that pun in chat. Oh, is Paranoia taking a death in 6-5? Oh, wow. Out the airship. Oh, jeez. Well, this would be a nice hot place to be on a cold night, 5F2. Down goes Boom Boom for One Fine Day. And it's Paranoia. Gonna give a crack at mac and cheese. And now we at least get a change up on the world ship order with World 7's airship. There we go for Paranoia. One Fine Day went for the fireball kill. Took a hit, though. Yes, auto-scroll was moved, Rossi. The only place you'll see that is in 5-9 and a lost level that auto-scrolls. As One Fine Day takes a death in the airship, gonna have to play that again. Especially the World 7 airship, because this one's just long no matter how you spin it, auto-scroller or otherwise. That is going to give Paranoia some time to make some ground back. Except the boomerang got him on the rebound. This time, One Fine Day gets the fire kill. At a fire kill at Koopaling, it takes 10 hits, and with random HP being at plus or minus 2 for the jumps, sometimes fire is the way to go, other times it's just one stomp and done. Yeah, fraud percent is not something I'd be trying. Right now, One Fine Day has got about a world lead, I would say, as we head into World 7, which means World 4 is going to be our last world. Now, the challenge with this world especially is to find which pipes go to where, and which pipes take you to the island that you want to go to, the one with the fort. Now, that is 3 pipes. One of those pipes is indeed a troll pipe. It means you get to see the island, but you can't do anything there. Going the low route through 4S1, can't blame them there because it's much safer. And it's Paranoia, barely missed hitting that Thwomp's hitbox. Pretty sure Mario felt that on his side. Okay, so clearing that fort does access 2 pipes, but after we get through this Nipper stage. These replace the Hammer Bros stages that you see in Worlds 1 through 6. They're always in the same spot. Although some of the enemies do randomize. Not the munchers you see on the bottom, those are always static. Those are always in the same spot. Which pipe's which? Well, now you know you don't have to play that level. That's the good news. That wasn't it either, because it was the troll pipe. Game, that's just nasty. So now you gotta go back, play through the 7-1 stage. Actually, no, One Fine Day has to take the end card game as it's right in its path. Well, he's gonna take a couple of items to go here. Don't blame him, I mean, it spawned in his path, so what are you supposed to do? And we get ourselves the ice equivalent of 3-3, a lost level. Right now, we have One Fine Day in the Pipe Maze with its Paranoia in Iceland. And where I live, as well as folks in other parts of the country and world, it's gonna feel like Iceland over the next few days. If you live in those areas, heed the forecast, bundle up, and stay safe. I got frostbite as a kid, and that's something you really don't want to have. Ooh, this island being required is pretty nasty, because you have to play 2 levels just to get access to 1 pipe. And that, yeah, that can be rough, especially since the hand stage is only giving out mushrooms. It's 4-1 for One Fine Day as it's Paranoia clearing out 7-3. That's right, so once done with 6, for Iceland, Paranoia will have to deal with the pipe maze. Now, the Southwest Island's a good island to be on because you actually get to go through a multitude of different pipes. Well, you can either go through a pipe or play a level for 2 pipes, so it's not bad. Now, unfortunately, on Paranoia's side, he's stuck there until the Starman runs out because, while Mario's doing spin flip jumps like that with the star, he can't go in a pipe. One Fine Day has 4-3. This is a pretty good level speed run through. If you're trying to actually pick up the run, it's one of the levels where you can just grab and go. But you gotta be careful not to clip into the pipe because that'll be a soft lock for sure. And we get 4-6. Interesting note about this level, that door actually flips to the opposite side. So you can actually get different enemy sets from going into that door. A very, very clean 4-6. As its Paranoia finishes off the Koopaling and is moving on to the pipe maze as One Fine Day is getting ready to move out of it into Air Force mode. This one scrolls twice as fast in the vanilla game as a typical auto-scroller, so that can get dicey. Without a tail, you really gotta monitor your jumps because one missed jump and you are taking a death. And you can call that when commentators One Fine Day demonstrated. And you don't need a tail to get through this level, but it definitely makes things a lot easier. Took a hit, but Boom Boom's down, as is Bowser's Air Force. Interesting to see the Angry Sun in both of the Nipper levels tonight. Did not see what he got for clearing that. As we now head into the war... Okay, I got a bit of a story to tell here. We're through 6 worlds. The only airships to switch positions were the World 5 and Sun airship. We had a weekly like that a couple of weeks ago where this exact same thing happened with the airship order. So it's the closest we've had to a vanilla airship pattern, and if you ask me, I find it kind of comical. That's just me. Meanwhile, One Fine Day taking care of Ludwig von Koopa and gonna be moving on to Giant Land. Oh, a cloud. That's a good item to have because if you run into a stage that you that's nasty, you don't want to play through, you can just jump it. And Bowser singing Chumbawamba lyric. behind the lock, has a hammer, so be able to pass it. Using a cloud, I cannot blame him because we haven't seen... Oh, going right for the hammer, brother. I like this aggressive strategy. So that little combination right there skipped 5 levels. Love the item use. And it is 5-9, one of 2 aforementioned levels. It has to auto-scroll, so he's like, nope. So unfortunately, by clouding over 4-4, wound up walking into an auto-scroller, which, quite frankly, we don't want. I think just about everybody was surprised by that one, because I sure wasn't expecting a Piranha playing Smash, but it's all good by me. And we're at 2-1, aka the Mortar Motorway, as some would call it. In terms of getting P-speed here, not really much of an issue, but enemies can make that really tough. Paranoia is on the right track as... Ew, gross. A required 7F2 to proceed. Known as the Piranha Fort, Piranha Panic, other names that I cannot say on the air. In terms of fort, this one can be pure evil, especially when the Piranha plants switch out Venus fire traps in the vertical pipe section. Thankfully, not dealing with that today, but oh boy, in terms of nasty forts that I wish there was a beta fort to take this one out for, yeah, this is my one. One fine day opting for a damage boost, which I can't blame him for because that's just a rough enemy setup. And that is well done by One Fine Day to get through that first try, because many a runner has gotten tied up by that fort before, and when you have to build a bridge, there's absolutely no skipping it. And now the World 5 airship to close out our airship. And we got a one-hit Earthquaker, so hit the gym for offense, but not for defense. Yep, the enemies are randomized as well. Paranoia is working through Air Force. One fine day is going to be the first of our runners into World 8, which is a pipe maze as well. The question is, which pipe is it to get through to the end? And this first stage is always mandatory, and it's 1-3. It seems a bit late to go backstage for the hidden item that's there, and a number of the enemies that get randomized in don't always get along. Sometimes see glitchy effects, not so much this time. And one fine day, not going backstage, going straight through to clear it out. And we wind up in the Dark Maze. If you're not going to go right there from 2 Bowser from the first fight, the Dark Maze is the way to go. And one fine day, opting to jump into Tooth Fort. Not a fort that I would nope out of, but this one can be a little bit meh with its enemy setup, since Paranoia is now entering Giant Land. Don't fly too high in the Isram or find it. We'll take a registered hit from the spike trap. And it's Paranoia going through 1F, which, if you know your SMB3, this is where you fly up to get that. And the setup is there to do just that. And One Fine Day did not find the way to go, so going back to the Navy stage, getting 3F2. And its Paranoia is heading up for that hidden up top. What's the item gonna be? A super. Well, probably not what he wanted to see. Probably would have liked to have seen a hammer. But, yeah, well, not the worst thing in the world. And down goes Boom Boom. Navy's cleared. It looks like One Fine Day is gonna opt to clear out the Air Force. Another spot on the map. Didn't see what it was, but it's 7F1, and with a tail, gets to avoid having to go through the process to get the Tanuki suit, but has to fly up a second time. So yeah, to say I was free is an accurate statement, as its Paranoia goes into Mortar Motorway. And he did find the right path. Into Bowser's castle, it is only a matter of moments before One Fine Day brings this home. I mean, barring something very unexpected from happening. And that's one of the interesting things about Bowser's Castle. The rotodiscs don't always turn the way they normally do. That too is randomized. Because of that feature, you might not always keep your hammers level. So now we get to see the Bowser fight the old-fashioned way. Worth noting that Bowser's ego is like his hitbox in this game. It's all in his head. One Fine Day taking a fireball, but not going for the strat. Nope, he's playing evasive. Can't blame him, because it is a scary strat, and if you're in the wrong... Oh, no, now he's going for it. Keeping himself elusive so Fireball doesn't go down to get him. Fireball is not going to go that low, so he's just playing it super safe. Can't say I blame him. Oh no! One Fine Day gets burned by a Fireball! Gonna have to play this stage again, but this time takes a P-Wing and uses an anchor, which turns out to be a star. That's one heck of a time save right there. You just hate to see that happen, folks. Unfortunately, getting hit is going to cost him the P-Wing effect, as its Paranoia is now into World 8, making up some ground. So here we go, round 2. Paranoia in 1-3, but about to run out of time, it would seem. But you know what they say, it's never over until the dot done is recorded in the IRC. Uh-oh, a fireball caught one fine day. It's like a misfire. And now just draw him away. Bowser's not going to be able to slam through those heavy blocks. And that will do it! One fine day has sent Bowser crashing through the floor. Get your GGs in chat for our winner one fine day, as he's going to move to 1-0 after our first race in group stage, with an official SRL time of 51 minutes, 44 seconds. Now, while one fine day pulled into a lead of at least one point, its Paranoia started to make up ground, but it was just too little too late. See if we can get him in here. Maybe. As we watch Paranoia close this out. Now, that's, I believe, going to send him to win. And it's Paranoia. The jitters, that's understandable. We'll head. But I have to say, it has to feel good to get the first one out of the way right away. And Paranoia, you clouded over this level so long way. Now has to play 7-5. Out of all the stages to play in the game, this is arguably one of the least favorite. And I'll just find out there. Okay. Paranoia trying to find the right pipe to go through. It was off by 1. That's not an easy slide through block to do either. And yes, this level is quite disgusting. Nice pass over the block where you have to form the hidden block bridge, though. That saves a healthy amount of time. Now we are going through BF2 on Paranoia side. Yep, Para is indeed on the right path. Also, for those of you who are entered in the tournament, don't worry about being, because anybody can have a race where they're on point and a race is you're off point. As One Fine Day said, as long as you're having fun, that's the important thing that counts. Paranoia through 7F1, now on to Bowser Castle. There's plenty of hammer suits, so anything happens, he'll be able to try it again. He just runs right under those lasers like it's nothing. I've had times I've done that and been rolled hit. So I don't know if that's a coin flip or what the story is, but that's a break I'd like to get to, you know. Equal breaks for everyone. So all I'm going to say about that is Paranoia going the big donut block bridge. Yeah, just about at Bowser. He's there with the hammer suit. Don't blink or else you'll miss out. And he gets the task kill on Bowser. Not sure how precise that is or what the setup is, but it's Paranoia. Finishes off Bowser with the task kill, also proving that Bowser's hitbox does remain on screen even as he's falling to his doom. Either way, get your GGs in chat for It's Paranoia. He's finished off this seed with an official time of 58 minutes 2 seconds. At this point, we are waiting on interview stuff to be sorted. Yes, this was a great race to both runners. It was a pretty good race all around. I think this is going to be one heck of a tournament. Face off first race. Alright, that should do it. Buttons I've never had to press before. Anyway, this is where I actually do need to just...
What happened?
Oh, whoops, did I do that mid-sentence? My bad. Anyway, folks, we are joined by our winner. It's One Fine Day, GG. I'll get Paranoia in here in a sec.
Thanks.
But first, I wanted to ask you, what was going through your mind throughout that seed?
I did feel like I made some mistakes, and I know It's Paranoia is not a bad runner. He's pretty good at this game. Probably based on the weeklies, he's about equal or better than me. So I just had to worry about every mistake I made. I was always thinking about whether I made the right move or wrong move to skip the end card game.
It was a move that certainly worked out at the end of the day, as now we are joined by It's Paranoia GGTU as well.
I would like to tell everyone I hate Hammer Brothers.
Yeah, those Hammer Brothers were giving you a rough time on some pretty nasty squares and some rough combinations as well. Anything small Mario in the water.
Water was a fun time. Oh, but there was a hitboxes work with me for once. Like maybe when a fish decided to jump into my feet.
Yeah, the cheap will do that.
Are we talking about the Sands of Shame level that shall burn forever in heck?
I did the Sands of Shame, by the way, with zero shame, because I'm like, I don't want to dodge this fish this entire time.
Oh yeah, we will not do Sands of Shame in this house. We will not do Sands of Shame ever. Even if I die often, which I did twice in E2.
I took the Sands of Shame because I'm like, I know full well with how I've been playing tonight, I'm going to eat this fish if I don't do this.
Yeah, to see a cheap there at the Sands is pretty nasty, but hey, good news is it was not a boss bast.
There was also that time I have no idea how that boss bass got me, but he did. I thought I was below him.
Yeah, that's a good question myself. Maybe it's because the hitbox extends that way, all the way down. I don't know.
All I know is hitboxes are the enemy.
Yeah, hitboxes are not nice whatsoever. And one fine day, I'll ask you this because I mentioned it in chat. You mentioned you had jitters towards the end of your run. Now, I can say this as a runner myself. That does happen from time to time. So, deep breaths always helps me. And besides, it was a fine race. And now that you got the first one out of the way, I think you guys are going to do very well.
Yeah, it was more first race jitters than just, competitive jitters in general. Yeah, I had that issue with the World 7 airship. That was like a dough moment for me.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one.
I don't know if... I realized after the fact I took precisely the wrong path through both World 7 and 8. Just checking everything other than, what I needed to.
Yeah, I did the Northern Island in World 7, but after that, I think my route was pretty smooth. You do play 7-3 on the map? Or did you go over 5?
I went through 7-3 using a cloud because I had extra clouds from the end card game.
And that led to, I'm guessing...
a mushroom house, because of course.
Yeah, that's never fun. Yeah, I went for 6-5 and got the... damn. What am I supposed to say? I had brain fart. But anyway, I was hoping I'd get the one that was closer so I could just hammer the lock just before the end of World 7. But it worked out because I was able to use a hammer in World 4 and skip 3 stages. I think that was my only hammer all game, because I didn't play end cards. And I avoided Hammer Brothers as much as possible.
I had a sort of surplus of hammers, but they didn't really help me too much sometimes. Notably, getting past one of those World 7 fortresses to check the pipe, and it's like, oh, okay.
Were the problematic Hammer Brothers in World 5? Because I used a music box to get past the two Hammer Brothers on the lower part of the...
I found multiple combinations of water, and Hammer Brothers, so they were all over the place. They were fun. And by which I mean they were my nemesis and they had to die.
Yeah, one of the things that just gives me a lot of problems is just
because it was just here's like all the worst things you can do. Go and do them.
Well, to be fair, I've seen DC spit out some worse things that they force you to do, like, let's see.
Oh,
I could sit down and name them, but we'd be here all night, so I'm not going to do that.
I meant more my own play tonight.
Well, everybody has a night like that. I'm sure you'll bounce back and do fine in the next one.
Oh, I hope so.
yeah, GG Paranoia.
GG.
Yep, GG to the both of you. And as you look to see what's coming up next on the Speed Gaming Network, we have in progress on Main Speed Gaming another match in the SMB3 Rando tournament, as well as another one on this very channel at 11:30, 10:30. There will also be more SMB3 Rando action on Speed Gaming. Now looking over at what those matches are, we have in progress on Speed Gaming 1, Ryko Rider versus Gimp Extreme. 9:30 over on Randomania 3, the Alan Heffley versus Ollie Cad. 10:30, actually the 9 match is a double header as they're playing both matches, so if you watch that, you'll get to see both flag sets. And the one on this channel will be One Fine Day versus Mini Guy DP. And for the Night Owls out there, we have... Well, we don't have anything scheduled yet for tonight. Tomorrow, well, actually, I'm just going to stop myself right there, because there are still some things undecided. So, with that, GG to both of our runners. Be sure to give them a follow as well. One Fine Day and Much Paranoia. You should see their links in chat. And for the runners, One Fine Day, Much Paranoia, everybody behind the scenes at Speed Gaming, I am Leslie Pro 4 saying everybody, have a good night, stay warm, stay safe, and take care. See you next time.